Surf Tech Channel. I'm your host, James Margetis. Today, me and my co-host, Dane, we're going to be going into the Lost Subdriver 2.0. Without further ado, I bring you Dane Casey. Dane, good to see you.
Hello.
Let's give the people your height, your weight, and what you rode your subdriver in, and also your skill level.
So my skill level is probably around like the higher end of the spectrum, I would say. I mean, you know.
Definitely advanced. Really good competition surfer.
Thank you. Yeah.
USA Prime Series.
USA Prime Series, yeah. Made it this year, which was awesome. But
Yeah, congratulations.
thank you. So my height is 5'7". I weigh $140. The board I ride is 5'8", 18.5 by 2 2/8, and the literage that I ride on it is 25.6.
First impressions of this board, when I first looked at it, I was like, it looks like one of the cleanest boards ever, you know? It's a super clean outline.
Yeah, when I saw it, I remember I saw that the tail of it was really fat. And then I rode it, and then it was amazing. Like my first impression riding it, because it was like a nice 2 to 3 foot day when I first rode it, and it was really good.
So the attributes of the board, like we touched upon, more of a leaning towards like a high performance outline, high performance daily driver, not so much like the groveler, so to speak, groveler shapes.
Definitely. I think it differs from that. I think that this isn't lobbed into your groveler category. It's more of like a step down to your high performance shortboard. This is like you want to go out and you want to go do cracks at the lip, front side and back
you still
side.
want to surf high performance, but the waves don't have enough for
the push.
your high performance shortboard. It does have a little bit added nose width from like a high performance shortboard. A little bit added tail width as well. It has medium staged rocker, so it's not super rockered out. I would say it's pretty medium. It does have a good bit of rocker, but it's staged. It's not a continuous curve in it. It gets really flat under the front foot.
Definitely, yeah. I think if you were to pick it up and you were to look at it on the bottom, it's definitely flat. Like it's across the board, it's pretty flat on the bottom.
Then it flips up towards the nose and flips up out the tail.
Yeah.
The rails are medium. Like this is the same dimensions basically as like my Happy Everyday or my Better Everyday.
Yeah.
And when you feel the rails on those boards, they're a little more tucked down. This is a little bit more medium. There's more foam out on the rails. There's a lot of foam hidden through the middle of the board all the way up basically to where it starts to flip up. There's pretty flat here, and that's how they squeeze so much foam into a tight package.
Definitely. It has a lot of foam underneath like your chest area, and I find myself almost never missing waves on it. And that would be awesome for like competitions when it's really flat and really like crappy conditions where like you have something to depend on.
Also on the concave, it's your bread and butter daily driver / step down board. It's single to double concave with V out the tail. Good release in smaller surf. Best speed generating / turning bottom, you know, easy to turn, easy to carve.
Yeah.
Generate speed easily.
Yeah, definitely. It's got good, I would say out of most boards, this one in particular had good release, I would say. Like if you were to just like open the lip and like you could feel that it released a little bit more, especially I found on my front side it was a little bit easier to get the release on it. Just, I don't know, maybe it's just the way I ride or something like that. Like found that like if I wanted to go up, I could pop the fins out a little bit easier. Maybe get a little slide on it or something like that. It was just a lot easier to do it.
Now we'll dive into the good things that we thought this board did well. We said good release in small waves. We're putting the wave range for this knee to chest high. It really shines.
Yeah, I would definitely say, especially if you're a larger adult or something like that, like, because it's got the foam under your chest, you could probably push it on me maybe head high, and for you maybe like shoulder high or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's like right in the bread and butter sweet spot. But I think on some of the mushier, like if it was summer high tide here, I think slightly overhead, mushier, still work really well, generate speed. Like if there was high tide flat sections, but like top to bottom, like proper overhead waves. It wouldn't be the best, but I think you could make do, you know, if that was your only board.
I was in Puerto Rico and I brought this board and my 77, which was amazing. My shin went into the board and it broke my 77.
Oh, geez.
And it was out, and I brought this board on the beach. I was like, oh, I'll go out and I'll go take it out. It had some power behind it, and it definitely had like the push for it. Like that would be like, oh, I'm not gonna ride this. I'm gonna ride my shortboard, my go-to shortboard. Went out there. If you put it in the right spot, you could crack a couple good like turns out of it. And like I was really surprised by that like on some waves it would be like, oh, this is going to be like really overhead, and like you could go up and then go down and come down with all your speed, and
Yeah.
the way the rocker is on there, it just wants to go forward.
Yes.
And that was amazing. That like I could go up, hang at the top, and then drop down, and then come back up and use the speed.
To move into our next good thing is
Yeah.
how fast the board is.
Absolutely, yeah.
That flat spot right under that front foot, like as soon as you get up, it wants to go. Like, you know, you're not fighting to generate speed. You stand up, you put your foot weight forward, and it just wants to go, you know?
Yeah.
This summer we had like a hurricane swell. It was probably like head high, a little bit overhead, and it was one of those high tide kind of weird funky days.
Yeah.
But it was really long. It was like mid-period here, so it was really long walled.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like that flat spot in it, it kind of didn't work to my advantage. Like you could get up and you could take off right away, but it like wasn't the right time or the right wave for it. You
Yeah.
know?
Uh-huh.
But then there's been really small days where like, I don't know, knee, thigh high, and I've
Yeah.
taken it out and it works to your advantage. Like,
Yeah.
you stand up, especially backside, like you're up, you're down the line on like a long walled wave and you can just crack it a couple times. You rode the Kolohe FCS 2 fins, mediums?
Yeah. I usually ride 2 pairs. I usually have my McFannings and then my Kolohes. And I remember I got the Kolohes with this board. I got them with this board, and they worked amazingly. This board was all about gaining speed, and these fins are all about gaining speed.
Yep.
Like going down the line on them, it just made it a whole lot easier, and I'd find myself having more speed for sections and like more time to like really process like, oh, if I'm gonna go up and like crack it, or I'm gonna go down, maybe just do a cutback or something like that. And like I can choose to do that because I have the speed.
So I actually struggled with this board, like finding the right set of fins, because I ride the AM2 larges in every one of my boards.
Uh-huh.
First day I got it and rode it, I rode the AM2s, and it was, I don't know, chest high day, pretty clean, but it was all lefts, so that's my backside. And it just felt really stuck compared to my other boards. Like I think around that time I was riding like a pod mod, which is a really groveler, really loose shape, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And then I went right to this, and it was kind of feeling stuck on my backhand. Like it wanted to really, you got to push it and really draw your turns out.
Yeah.
Could have been the fin combo. Actually, huge thanks to Danny Mears for this board. I hit him up, he had it. And I was talking to him, I was like, first ride, man, I don't know, I'm not stoked on it. Like,
Yeah.
and he said the same thing. He rode it with more raked fins, and he kind of felt the same. And he switched to a pivot fin. Said made the world of difference. So then I don't really use pivot fins a lot.
Yeah.
So I went to a neutral fin in between. So I used the original Lost Mayhem fin, large, and it was a little bit better, easier to turn, easier to go vertical.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing with like the really raked fins is you can go vertical, but you really have to push to do so.
Absolutely.
They more project out, you
Yeah.
know, where the neutral fins, it's easier to go vertical. So I did that, really good, and then still wasn't exactly what I was looking for.
Yeah.
And then I got the John Scimitar Futures.
Yeah.
I put them in it, and it was like night and day difference. I groveled with it. I surfed legit like knee slappers with it, and it was so loose. You could do turns, you could generate speed.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you're into this, I think more neutral fin, more pivot will definitely get you the feeling that you're looking for, I hope. You know, that's what I was looking for. Overall, it's a great backup board.
Yeah.
Everyone I've talked to that has one, it kind of didn't fit their use everyday board. It was kind of like a really good backup. Like you said, you had it on the beach.
I bring it when I go to contests. It's in my bag. When I go travel, like to a spot or wherever, it's in my car. It's in my bag.
This model, the Subdriver 2.0 in particular, really bridges the gap between a alternative like groveler daily driver and a high performance shortboard. How you mainly ride high performance shortboards, and this is like your backup. Curran, on the other end of the spectrum, mainly rides the Rad Ripper. He was our guest for the Rad Ripper episode, and this was his backup, you know?
Yeah.
So he would always have this on the beach as his backup. So it's funny, like, you're riding the boards on this end of the spectrum, he's riding the Rad Ripper on this end of the spectrum, and both of your backups is like right in the middle. You know? So we'll move right into the bad stuff.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, it's 2s or 10s for me with this board. Like, it's either I'm having a terrible session and I just want to go home, or I bring it out and I have a really good session, you know. And one of my best sessions with it was when we did the Lost Daily Driver review. I had this board, the Rad Ripper, and the Puddle Jumper Pro. And that was one of my best sessions on this thing. I got some really fun waves, and, you know. But other than that, it was like either this or this. I didn't have that session where, you know.
There's definitely a couple sessions, especially when the wind gets on it. And then also, like, the way, like, if there's some days where, like, this board really, like, has its lows, I would say, especially around here. The days I feel like that could be the worst, or, like, not really the worst, but, like, unideal for this, are the days where, like, there's a little bit of wind to it, or, like, there's some wind on it, and, like, there's some power there and there's some power not.
Chop in the face.
Yeah. Like, those days, like, I found, like, this board really, like, kind of that's where, like, its low point is. It struggles with it.
Yeah.
You're almost on top of it, like, when you're going down the face of it, it's kind of like you're skipping with it, like this, and, like, I find it really hard to dig a rail in and, like, really grab the face and, like, go up with it.
It's straighter out the back. It doesn't really have a pronounced hip to it.
Yeah.
And it just kind of sometimes feels a little stuck. And you really have, like, for you, you're a better surfer than me, so, like, you might be able to manage it better, but if you're not surfing it hard, you know, and really pushing, it'll push. If you push that board, it pushes back, and it's really good, but if you're not, it's just, it feels kind of stuck. You're struggling.
Because sometimes I feel like it sags in the lip a little bit, like going up, like speed floaters, that's good. Like, as soon as, like, the board starts to go like this, like that, and it's like you're more like parallel to the beach or like aligned with the beach, I feel like it becomes a problem. Like, especially,
it
like,
just grabs.
It grabs, and, like, that's good because, like, the release is good. The problem is like you'd have to have, like, a lot of your weight in, like, in the face of the wave going back in, and for the most part you can manage it, but that's after a while of putting in, like, a lot of work into it. And, like, for somebody new, like, going into it, they're like, oh, I'm gonna go up and hit the lip, and, like, they're going up to hit it, and then they find themselves, like, at the top but not going back in. Like, and that could be a drawback and, like, a disadvantage that you could look at it from.
I would say more intermediate, advanced expert surfers will benefit the most out of this board.
The biggest thing is people want to have that high performance feeling. But without the high performance effort, I feel like.
That's the best way to put it. I'm glad you touched on that, because that's, like, a great explanation for all of you out there. Like, a high performance shortboard, you really have to work. And you really have to surf that board, and you really have to push, you know?
It's an effort.
And you have to surf in the pocket. You have to stay in the power source of the wave. As where these shapes, something like this, the Happy Every Day, the Better Every Day, like any other kind of daily driver models, they do a lot of the work for you. Where you don't have to surf it that hard or be in the right spot. You can surf less critical, and you can make a little bit more mistakes. They're more user-friendly. You know?
That's a good way to put it. User-friendly, definitely. It's definitely.
I think you will be able to find some deals on these now. They just dropped the Subdriver 3.0, so they might be discounting these, as well as, like, I'm going to be selling mine on Marketplace, and they're going to be out there and available. You might be able to find some good deals on them, so it's a good secondary option in your quiver. Want to thank you all for tuning in. If you haven't already, you can tap all the way down here and subscribe. Give us a like, thumbs up, leave some comments, any questions you may have for Dane and I. We'll definitely answer. Check out Dane's YouTube channel. What's your YouTube channel?
It's just my name.
Dane Casey?
Yeah, it's just Dane Casey.
One word?
Yeah, no, I think it's just Dane Casey,
Okay. Really sick edits.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And, thank you all for tuning in. Dane, it was a pleasure.